What's up, RLT? It's me, YCC, with your afternoon room on Zoom 2022, filling in for Newsome. Just a little substitution, about to make it gruesome. Might start a revolution of people getting knowledge up in this stock college as we're raking in dollars of the stock market's college, and we're putting on college about to make y'all holler. Because we got a bunch of trades to slay, stacking these R's all day, gonna be like pirates in the bay. Make the people say, "Get the room underway, portfolio up, up and away." So that's all the rhymes I got. Wait, no, 1 second thought. I think I got a few more. Just wait, wasn't store. This is better than before. More attitude than Jesse Liver. More I implore these stocks to soar. So let's dive right in. Time to begin. Gonna make you grin by the times we win. Much to my chagrin, I don't have a way to wrap this up as I stop and now super abrupt. What's up, team? It's me, Yates, with your afternoon room. Happy Thursday. How y'all doing today? Dropping the mic, exactly. You know, it's a new year, new rap. That's what's up. So had to throw it down. It'll get better as I do it more. So first time to chime. What's up, Ron, Joseph, Matthew, Jack? What is happening? All happy Thursday to everyone. How are you all doing? We got some moves in the market, and we are looking interesting out there. It's going to be a fun day. Going to be a lot of trade setups out there. So it's going to just be picking the best ones that look good to you. We're seeing some possible bear setups setting up. We got kind of that little bit of a rally that Jeremy was talking about yesterday. So here is the SPY. This top chart is the weekly. This bottom chart is the daily. So I'm going to keep those up for a number of stocks today, just to kind of show where we're at. We're breaking through the 100 on a lot of stocks on a weekly. Which definitely is not a good sign for anything doing that. So we'll see what happens. But this is the SPY. Today we got just a nice little high wave candle. We're setting up for possibly a move lower in the SPY. Jeremy talked yesterday about getting into some short positions if we moved up inside this candle. And we did. We hit the 20. So I'm sure he's in some shorts at this time on the SPY, because we do have a little ways to go on this move down. If we start breaking this 50 and moving down into the 100, and that could be the target, that could be it. But we'll see. We bounced there a number of times before. We can see we bounced there over here, bounced over here a number of times on the back in the chart as well. And that's pretty much the 20 on the weekly here. So if we just come back to that 20, we chop around here for a while when we keep breaking up higher. That would make sense, but we'll watch this level right here at the 50. If we break that down, we'll watch that very closely today. So today's candle is pretty pivotal. It's going to be on a lot of stocks. It's going to show us kind of what the market's going to do. Are we going to chop sideways, break out of here, or are we going to start breaking down on a lot of these names? So a lot of things at pretty key points. Here's the Qs, similar setup, actually a better setup if you're going to be taking this as a quick little swing trade. I like this trade. We'll see if I make it official or not, but I think I probably will. This one's just a little better than the Qs, than the SPY, I mean, because we will actually be breaking below the 100 on the Qs. We'll be breaking below this nice little bullish candle. This will be just playing the 10 EMA strategy on the Qs, which if you actually go through the charts, there's so many of these 10 EMA strategies setting up on so much of the tech out there. Why not just try it on the overall Qs is kind of my thoughts. So that would be it. It's not going for a huge win, just kind of trying to get down into this area right in here where we did have this nice double bottom. So perhaps we retest some of these gaps. That would actually be pretty healthy. Would not be too bad. I think would it even be 10%? Let's see. Yeah, it's almost exactly 10% right to that 200. So that would be a decent little pullback, and that would be nice. So we'll see what happens from here, but pretty pivotal candle on most things out there today. So keep your eyes on that candle, which way we break and what we do from here. IWM, pretty similar. We're hanging out right at this little trend line I have drawn here. We did not break down through this 207 and 204 area that was super critical to hold. So that's really good news. That was nice that we did that. We have this trend line still pretty much holding. So we'll see what we do from here on the IWM, but we could certainly come back in, retest these areas and be holding up. We still, again, wouldn't be great if we broke down 209, 206, somewhere in that area. I mean, I would prefer if we stay above there for the bulls. If we do break down, definitely start getting a little bit more bearish on this, because that's going to be a pretty key level to hold. But we're not that close right now. I think we could easily move sideways, move down, retest that and bounce. So we will see. The DIA, it was down a little bit today. What is it? UNH was down because Humana was down. A lot of things down. Humana was down. I think something about their Medicare signups or something. They were down 20%. I'll just look at it real quick since I'm talking about it. So huge gap down on them. They actually would have been a great day trade if you played that. But I don't really care about that one right now. UNH is part of the reason it was dragging down the DIA. So decent down day after a really strong trend there. And so, yeah, the Dow's been relatively strong though. So it could use a little bit of a pullback. We do have a little bit of a miniature double top. We're coming right into this upper trend line that we did break out of though. So we'll see if we're able to hold this and start kind of chopping sideways, moving higher, or if we do actually break down, we continue this upward channel on that. I think that would make a little more sense just with the sentiment in the market out there right now. Some at least coming back down a little bit, maybe to 357 is kind of where I'd look for some buys for some longer term things on the DIA if you're playing that. So there it is. There's the broader market. We had that little bit of a relief bounce out there that Jeremy talked about, said was relatively likely to happen. And we did not get that huge bull candle. Nothing to really tell us that, hey, we probably are going to switch trends. We'll see. We could still get that tomorrow. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But today's candle did set up for some pretty nice bearish moves if we get them. And if we do just move sideways and start going up, that will also be good as well. It won't trigger any of the bear trades. And we'll be good on that. So there it is. That's my overall market. Any thoughts, questions to add to that? If not, let's get rolling on the list today. Got a decent list for y'all, quite a few stocks to roll through. So let's see how it goes. All right, so first one is IRNT, IRNT. So IRNT down a good amount. It's been getting a little bit crushed since this September 21. Let's see here if there's anything that would resemble bouncing. So at this point, I wouldn't really want to go short since we're already just so beaten up. This gap on earnings is kind of just the nail in the coffin for this thing. And we haven't got any volume spikes. It's stayed below the 10 forever. So honestly, I just say short the rip. If we do come up here and fill this gap, that would be a good opportunity to short this one. So looks like down is the trend on this one. So play the trend. Trend is your friend. When you get a candle that looks like this big, nice candle here, then yeah, I would say right when that gets taken out so quickly, not a good sign. So when we close below that over here on November 15th, yeah, looking a little bit bearish on that one. So Zim, let's see, I can go to just the chart for a while. Zim's holding up pretty well, right? So Zim looks nice. It's hanging in there. We got this trend line I drew a while back, probably way back over here in November. It held up pretty well. We did break down a little bit, but we held that 100. If you did buy there in the buy zone area, you are looking nice. Still hasn't hit that target quite yet, but we are just kind of moving up and sideways, creating some nice compression. Holding up nicely, has a decent amount of strength. We do have a possible, if this gaps down on a day trade or something, you could have a nice quick short back into the 100 right here. But honestly, I could say that on most every stock out there today. So I probably will. And there you go. You're just gonna have to listen to that a lot. But not the best risk reward swing trade on this one. This one is still in a nice bullish pattern. So we are just kind of in an S curve. I would look to play this one more bullish than bearish right now. So this is one you could concentrate on if you're looking for some bullish plays and you want to have some bullish swings out there as well. But I don't see anything quite yet for a setup on it. If we get sort of one more down day and then we come off this trend line and set up, that could be looking good. But Zim looks good overall, just kind of holding up and chugging a little bit higher. So that looks pretty nice. YETI. So this is kind of the pattern we're going to see all day today. We kind of just have a gigantic downtrend, which is 33% on YETI. We are coming into some really nice support though. So this is a nice support zone right in here. Kind of this whole area in here is kind of where I would say our support zone is. So right all in that area is a nice support zone. So we could certainly bounce here. And yes, this one is not quite to its 100 on the weekly. So Could we come into kind of the low of all these candles and this 100? Yeah, and I actually probably, if I was going bullish on any kind of longer term play on this one and wanted to actually probably just go bullish in general, honestly, that's how I would want to play it. Not really any setups for it. We could get a quick kind of just bounce up to here, but honestly, I think probably this one's going to come down a little bit lower. Just from looking at these charts, looks like we could certainly meander our way down to 66 or so. Not the best risk reward on this one though, just because if you're taking just this bracket candle, there's so much support in this area that we could bounce at, and we do have the 100 coming up down here as well. So looks like we probably will bounce around here. Really nice support zone getting set up around this second line. That's where I'd want to buy this one. I like the support acting with the 100 on a weekly as well up here. So that looks really good. Keep an eye on YETI over there. So people probably still want really expensive coolers, right? Or now inflation wise, those have probably gone up to really, really expensive coolers, maybe even 3 reallys. I'm not sure, but a lot of reallys and a lot of coolers over there at YETI, and we'll see what it does, but down to 66 is the place to go. So Ethereum is next on the list. What has happened with Ethereum? Everyone wants to know. So here's my thoughts on Ethereum. Yes, I am still in. I did sell some a while back up here. I kind of talked about it. It was at 4,400, right about in here. I sold some, let's see, probably about 10%. That would be, if I do the quick math, sold about 10%. I've actually just started buying back in on that. So I bought some today. It was actually a really good buy right around 33.27 or something like that. So we'll see. I'll probably be underwater on that by tomorrow, but looks good for right now. So anyway, so I'm still in, I'm holding on to this. I think now is not the best time to be selling. You could have sold a number of times back over here. Whenever we get a huge candle like this, a huge hammer, pretty much always, if you back trade Ethereum, we do rotate down and kind of come into the low of that candle. So when we did get this bounce, that's why I got out of some as well right up here. And we are coming back down into the low of that candle, right? And so if you wanted to get out, that's probably the area. Or when we broke this 100 over here, let me put it up on here. So lots of areas, but now we're coming into some pretty nice support on Ethereum. I'll just draw a few lines that I see as pretty good support. Here's one line. I think this is going to be a little bit of a make or break zone for a while. If that does break, I think 28 is in play. And also we were talking about in the crypto chat, I think probably around the 23 area, 23 to 20, probably 150 is in play as well. So we'll see. Hopefully we can hold up here or at 28. If not, have your buys ready. Hopefully you already stopped out. If you don't want to be in Ethereum and we do start breaking down these candles, I would probably have my stops there. I'm holding it on a longer term basis. If I have to hold for 2 years for Ethereum to go back up and hit 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, whatever it is in the next few years, I'm okay holding for that long. So I also have a pretty low dollar cost average. So I'm still going to be in profits for a while if we go lower. So lots of considerations to take into there, but I do see some of these lower prices in play if we really start breaking down. It is a risk on asset. Ethereum and Bitcoin both are. So yeah, I mean, play them accordingly. We will get beat up a little bit if the Fed does any more tightening. If they do anything else, yesterday's wasn't the best news for crypto. So we'll just have to see, but I think it's holding on. This is where it's kind of gotta, this is the spot. So we will see what happens with it. Bitcoin, same thing. Bitcoin's actually looking a little weaker, honestly. Areas on Bitcoin are coming up though, so we're not quite at support on Bitcoin. It's like kind of here's your main supports somewhere. Let's just say this region. 41 to 38 is where I see some pretty good support on Bitcoin. Honestly, if those don't hold, looks like we're probably coming back into this region of the 30,000s. We do have a pretty massive head and shoulders here. Really good double top. I mean, we got kind of all the things. We broke down, we retested. Does it have to play out? I mean, can this be kind of the end of it? 37, we bounce and we come up out of here. Absolutely. So that could be our head and shoulders playing out. That would be fine, and perfectly acceptable for that pattern. But this, again, I'm not selling here, because I think the place to sell was when we got this bounce after this huge wick. Whenever we get these huge wicks, we tend to roll up and then we chop down and then we slowly chop down. It happened over here. We can see it. We came down with this huge wick, chopped down, and we eventually came down. And this is, I mean, if you actually chart these patterns, I posted a little while back in the crypto charts, in the crypto chat on Slack, that we're in almost an identical pattern of that. We are right, I think right now we're like right here. So maybe here, one of these days. So we could get another run up into the 200, come up to here, get another flush down, maybe into 38 real quick. Then we start to kind of bounce later in February, March, somewhere in there. So we'll see what it does, but that's what I'm doing. I'm playing a little bit of a longer game on it, and that's kind of my detailed crypto analysis for now. But I think if we break some of these numbers, these lower numbers are definitely in play. So I think it's a good buying opportunity if that happens. But people will be very scared. Everyone who wanted it, everyone said, "Hey, I wish I could buy Bitcoin at 30,000 when we were right here." And then if we actually do go down to 30,000 right here, nobody's going to want to be buying it. So I'll be buying some, and that's in my plan. I'm still buying some on a regular basis. There you go. That's what I got for you all. Any questions, throw them in the chat for me. All right. Coin. I think coin actually comes all the way down to this purple line down here. So it would not surprise me at all. Let's see. Well, let me throw a trend line on here. So we broke our trend line today. If we break this candle, it's kind of, we didn't close really below that trend line, but if we break this candle, I think we're going to slowly meander our way down, probably break down into the 207. And I think that would be a good buying area. Generally, those low breakdowns are pretty nice, especially on companies that you like and you want to hold over long term. So yeah, I just watch those. But remember, this will move with the crypto market. So if we get some big selling, if Bitcoin is actually breaking some of these key levels, we're heading down, we're in the 35s, 37s. I think coin will also get hit. So just keep that in mind. It can certainly go lower than 207 if we do start really breaking down into some stuff. So just be prepared, and just probably this one is one you just want to slowly accumulate over time. That's what I'll be doing on it. I don't own any right now. But if we do kind of get down to this 207, I'll just be buying a little bit here and there and slowly accumulating to cover some of the fees that I pay them. That will be the plan. All right. CHWY. So CHWY hitting some new all-time highs. Our man Robert Falco told us that this might be a good one to look at. It is a regional bank ETF. And what do banks do when rates go up? They tend to do a little bit better. So instead of picking your regional bank, this is kind of a nice way to get exposure to that space, since I wouldn't be able to pick out my regional banks that I want to get into that I think would do well. I bought a little bit of CHWY kind of back over here on this kind of whole dip. So I set up limit buys all the way down to the 200, and those are working out pretty well. I actually had them way lower. So I got filled on a small position, nothing crazy, nothing huge, just a little position here, but anything helps when it has, when this thing's going to new all-time highs, and some of these growth stocks are selling off pretty hard. So that's kind of been my strategy, is to look for a few of these names to get into them, to hold them as sort of hedges against the rest of my growth portfolio, which might be otherwise looking a little bit Wreckville. All right, CHWY looks good. If you aren't in CHWY, probably would want to pull back to here or here. I say would be kind of some buy areas on it. That's where I'll probably look to add in those zones. And if we do pull all the way back to the 100, the 200, I'll definitely buy there as well. So I'll definitely look for that, and want to buy a little bit more. Just keep basically just going to be getting in slowly, because we know that rates are going to go up next year, kind of later in the year as they increase them. So this could be kind of a longer term, just a accumulation play, see what it does, buy a little bit here and there, buy 10 shares, buy 10 shares, buy 10 shares, and then just see what happens with it. It's pretty inexpensive stock though, so could definitely get into some nice positions on it. Uber actually it's holding up okay. So I actually did not look at Uber for, well, I rarely look at Uber, I have to say, but it's doing okay relatively. So nice double bottom. I like where it bounced. Nice support getting put in this area. Let's check out our weekly. So on our weekly chart, we can see we're just right inside all of these averages. We're moving just kind of directly sideways. We're right under the 100. So I don't see any really nice bullish edge right where we're at. If we can kind of, let's see, if we can retest a little bit more, I would say, and come back down into 39.13 or so. That would be possibly a place to try a swing trade. I don't know. This one's just, it's so sideways. But it is holding up. So I really like where we bounced. I like that this gap filled perfectly and we bounced. That is it's a lot of earnings over this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 earnings. We're just kind of hanging out right back at it, which is good. Lots of stocks wish they could be close to where they were 5 earnings ago. Yeah, I would wait a little bit. Possibly we can either see some bullish pops up to here, and we could set something up there when we have a little bit more moving averages in our favor. We look a little bit better. Probably the spot to get in would have been right down here for a bullish trade. Yeah, otherwise I'd wait a little bit on it. NVDA. So this isn't my exact pyramid. I just threw these on there real quick. This isn't the layout I use. This is just my RLT one. So that's close to the pyramid I have on it. It is very conservative. Yes, it is on NVDA. Do I think it's going to come to 195? I really don't, or 193, whatever. But honestly, we were there just in October. So this was a gargantuan move up. We went up 74% in 36 days. So can we pull back 40% if things kind of really get a little wild out there? We can, but I would prefer to start a little more conservative in these positions that I want to build. I want to be in NVDA for a long time. I'm not in it at all right now. I've gotten out of all of it. I actually am in one bull put spread on it. That's doing pretty well, but other than that, nothing. So I'm just watching it right now to start buying around the 100 on a weekly, on a daily. Which, if we look at it on the weekly chart, we're super far away from all our averages up here, our 50s all the way down here. So yeah, that's just why I'm being conservative. And if it only pulls down, wrong chart. If it only pulls into here, what do you think I can do from there? Anybody? Bueller? I can start to see if we get some nice candles. I can start to move up stops. I can start to add to my position up here. I can start to layer in a little bit at a time as we go higher, put in some limit buys, see if we can come up and get something like that. So I can just move these orders up. But I'd rather if I have a pyramid that looks like this and we do this, I would rather be in the former than the latter, right? So I just set them up like that, and then I adjust them as time happens. So I'll leave this order up all the way till after earnings and see what happens. There's NVDA. Block, get in blocked. So man, I don't know. This one's holding up, at least with a little bit of a bullishness. We're up like what is it, 0.82%. There you go, Jack Dorsey. That's what happens when old Jack comes over from Twitter, pops on and says, hey, I'm going to be running things around here. You get a 0.82% after a nice little 50% drawdown. Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness though, this is a support right here. So we certainly could bounce. Let's throw up our weeklies again. I would not buy this one until 125. If it was me, if I was already in this one, you're probably in protection ages ago. So many good signs to get into protection. So many ridiculous breakdowns on this one. It has been weak for a while now. I knew a lot of people exited and just kind of took the loss on it and said, hey, I'll buy this later. I had sold a put, I think with Robert Falco, sold that one with me at 125. I actually bought that one back for a profit a while ago. And if we get down to 125, I'll probably sell one a little lower, kind of around 100 or yeah, maybe even lower. So these green lines are just levels I see on it. One is this 200. And then the next level we see really is this support right here. Before that, there's really no support throughout this area. We just ran up so fast during COVID. That's part of the thing that some of these companies are running into is if they start breaking down these supports, there's really no more support left. Like this whole area right here is just bull candle after bull candle after bull candle. Our next supports aren't really until our next really solid support is until 86. Do I think it's going to come down there? Probably not. No, I don't. But will I buy it if it comes down there? Yeah, I'll get a little bit, and I'll kind of evaluate it and see what's happening at that point, because that will be a ridiculous sell-off. I'm personally thinking it probably comes around to 125, 126, 130, kind of pretty close to where we are right now, and that's close-ish to max pain. But if we start breaking this level, we start breaking down this 200 on a weekly, there is not much holding this thing up until some of these levels down here. So that's the only thing to see on some of these is there's not a lot holding them up once we break down. So end phase. So end phase was looking really, really nice, and then it wasn't. But that's the story of a lot of stocks out there. So we had this really nice gap up. We ran for like 2 weeks, and then we have just been failing ever since. What is the date on this? November. So since end November, we've just been getting just smoked the entire time. Man, that is a rough one. Yeah, so probably getting close to a buying area. We did break this trend line, which has been holding for a while. So like 2 years, this trend line held up, and we did just break that yesterday. So that's not the best sign. If we could actually go into and look at our weekly again, this is one that I would prefer to own it down here at the 100 on a weekly. Honestly, the 100 on the weekly has not been that imaginary blue line on the weekly has been doing less than a lot of these stocks and shareholders hoped it would be, aka square. It's just ripping through that imaginary blue line like butter and not respecting it one bit. Zero respect paid. But I think for a lot of these stocks, that is a big sell-off. That is a really nice, what will that actually be on this thing? Like, yeah, 50% down on end phase. Pretty good buying area. I think we could get at least some bounces there, whether it's short-term or long-term, hard to say. So that's where I would want it, is down there. And I think a lot of these, if we break this low, if we break this level here, it seems very probable that we come down into 130 on end phase. OKTA, same thing. OKTA looking super weak. This is one that it could be a possible 10 EMA strategy to set up right now. So we've talked at pretty great lengths about kind of this pattern that breaks down. We've had it happen a lot of times, from Pinterest to Teladoc, and AMD is the one that didn't. So we had kind of this exact setup. We broke down a little bit, and then it actually recovered, and it went straight up for a while. So this is a really key level. If we break down this level, not a whole lot holding it up during this run, right? So this is, again, one of these 2020 runs. We just went straight up, nothing over here to the left, no price action. Tons of people are going to be trapped at that point. So it could be a pretty nice short on OKTA. So that's one I would keep my eye on pretty closely for a nice little swing trade, using the 10 EMA strategy. So pretty, you can put your stop wherever you want. If you wanted to be a little more aggressive, you could put it right down here. It's hard to get good risk reward putting it at the 10 because we've had so much selling. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 bearish days in a row. Today we're putting in a bull day, nice increasing volume with that bull day if we get taken out. So yeah, I mean, I think this one will be good to play it if you want to take some bearish positions. I would play it a little more aggressive for a little bit better risk reward right there. But do these have to trigger? Does this have to actually work out at all? No, we could just kind of do this and chop around and break higher and cancel it and move on, right? So this, and that would be good news for all the bulls out there, and everyone playing any bullish trades. So apps. So today I got into 1/3 of my position of protective puts, just because it's looking a little weak, and I think we could certainly, again, same thing. If we break this candle, I'll get into the rest. I'll get into the other 2/3, and yeah, it's not looking. I mean, it could just trade back down at 47, but do I want to take that $7 without protection? I do not. So I'll be getting into more protection if we break down there. I got into a little bit today as we were bouncing, and yeah, so we'll see what apps does, but it is just this huge, this looks better on, yeah. So on the weekly, it is just kind of this big giant downward trending channel. So it would kind of make sense for us to come at least back into this 100, which is that 46 level, and even we could come into 38 on this thing. If you're setting up a pyramid, that's kind of how I would set it up. As I would set it up probably starting around like 49 and coming down to maybe like 39 or 40, somewhere in there. So nice little channel. I think this company, this could be just kind of a wave 4, and then we have a wave 5 up once tech stops getting wrecked so much. We'll see. This is going to be pretty earnings dependent. They have a lot of high expectations. They've been growing very quickly, so we'll see if they can continue that or not. UL Unilever PLC. This one's pretty sideways, a little bit sidewaysy. So let's see. A little bit of an inverted head and shoulders going on at support on the daily, the weekly, don't see much. Kind of a nice little gap down today. This one rejected pretty hard off of the, this one rejected pretty hard off the 100. And pretty much all the moving averages are in the bearish favor. So I would watch for a bearish play on this one. If we could come up and fill this gap, might be a good place to short. If you're in already, you're probably protected. If not, this is probably an okay area, especially if you bought down here to protect or to raise stops. But yeah, pretty downward trend. I would look to probably short it if we can just get back up here into the 200. So I've heard of this company. I don't know exactly know what they do though, besides consumer non-durables and household personal care. So that tells me a lot. Soap, says Jack. They do soap and shampoo. Okay. So will soap and shampoo be used with high inflation is the question, or will people just say, nah, not this week. No thanks. Pass. Dove soap. Oh, this is Dove, really? Okay. All right. Unilever, Dove. Was the Dove ticker taken? They couldn't get Dove? Nothing. Should have gone with Dove. It's cooler than UL. Now it says she loves Dove. Well, maybe you should get some of this Unilever. If we actually look on a bigger time frame, it's a slow and steady mover. Soap's going up. People are liking them. Yeah. So if you want to just kind of get in something that has a nice bullish trend over time, then yeah, it's moved sideways and chilled out for a long time too, which actually is good for kind of longer term health of it. Since May 2017, well, let's see, since June 2017, we're exactly where we are right now. So if we can start to get some momentum and move up, that would be nice. So people can be very brand specific, says Jenny. Yeah, it's true. People either love or hate all their soap brands. And some people just have to make their own. And so, you know, Unilever, I like it. I like it on a longer term scale. Short term, nah, nothing much to see. But long term, just buy and hold, and just hold this. And one day you can be like, I own a lot of Dove soap stock that made me really rich, and that'll be cool. All right, C limited, man, this one. Oof, look at this trend on a weekly. Look at that trend. When we were back here, everyone on Twitter was saying this thing would never stop going straight up. This was the stock. It was a one to be in for all of eternity. It was at $350. People were saying it was going to go 500. It was ridiculous. And we know how that played out. So I don't want to backtrack the whole thing right now, but stop this, go away. But yeah, so we're below the 100 now. So that is not, this is one of the ones I was talking about. Things are breaking below their 100, and that definitely shows weakness. This is actually breaking below some pretty key levels right in here that I would say are some pretty good support. So we went up really quick on this one. We do have like an exorbitant amount of bearish weeks in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a relief week here, kind of there. So this is a nice bearish continuation pattern as well. There's a name for it, but I forget it. So yeah, so this pattern is a decent bearish continuation pattern. We actually came down, we flagged, and now we're breaking down below the 100, below the main support. And what kind of supports do we have coming up? Not a ton. We did bounce off it today. So I would say if we do break down, here's my trade setup on SE. Not the best risk reward on this one, but not bad. So this one, decent risk reward, and just might take a little bit to get down all the way down here. That's a big percentage down. What is that like? Hey you, 25%. So that's 25% down. Totally doable pretty quickly. We did put in some huge gaps here as well. So I would guess, so I prefer, if I'm playing this one bearish, I prefer we actually get a little bit more selling up into here, and I would probably try to short the rib. So I'd probably try to short there or here. I think would be better on this one. But if we just break down really quickly, that's super bearish. So I would be shorting that one as well. So that one is one that looks pretty good. It ran up super fast, ran up super high. Yes, they make money. They're profitable. They're not just like this nothing growth company that doesn't do anything. Yeah, the volume is the last few days is ridiculous. It's how many is that? At 19 million, and their average is like, I don't know, 3 probably. Yeah, it's crazy volume. And again, like today's is big. So that, again, that's a reason I would want it to come back up. First, I kind of shorted in here. Lots of people selling on these 2 down days. Like this is, everyone's scared, and we're breaking below that magical purple line that I just drew 30 seconds ago. That apparently that's what scared everyone, is they also drew a magical purple line, and they went, time to sell, guys. Broke the purple line on a huge gap. But I mean, this is a really bearish gap. Where it opened, ridiculous. Where it closed, ridiculouser. Closed below this point, which should not have broken, especially that quick. But honestly, after this trend, it makes a lot of sense. We came up into the 20, we're retesting it. So short the rip on it, or set up this breakdown trade on SE. It looks good. Net. Net is another one that, man, oh man. Here is the weekly as well. So it is not below the weekly 100 yet. And actually, I think that probably is an area where it holds. So if I wanted to own a net, where would I want it? Probably somewhere around this purple line. Let's put it right here. So around that, well, let's do 2. Somewhere around this region is where I think net will probably end up. Right around 100 on a weekly. It just ran up so fast. It was so quick. Like look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of just straight upness. And that was after it went up ridiculous amounts all year. Went up 100% basically, after a cool little bit of a 500% return in 500 days. So yeah, what's up, John? How are you doing? Yeah, so I think it doesn't have a really good bearish setup, honestly. So on this one, if I'm playing it bearish, I would have to short it up here. So let it come up, let it retest, let everyone think, hey, this was the bottom, then see if you can get a rollover back down into probably this 87 region is where I would look to have this as a main target. That's where I think that's a good buy. This 100 is going to kind of keep creeping our way up. Pretty soon it'll be up there. And honestly, if it just goes back to all-time highs in like a couple of years, you'll have a nice 100% gainer. So not sure it does. Its valuations were crazy. This, of course, is one that got really beat up because anything with really high PE was getting wrecked. Anything with high PS was getting wrecked. This one had both, check both boxes. This one was insane. So yeah, we'll see. But that's where I would want to buy it. Tesla, got a lot of drawings on here. Tesla put in a pretty interesting candle today. So on a weekly up here, nothing to see, so let's not look. All right. We filled this gap very quickly. So really nice gap up, 10% up. Everyone thought it was going to go to the moon. Lots of people buying, and they were immediately trapped by yesterday at open. So not great. And it's sold down. We figured this gap would retest, but it didn't figure it'd be this quickly. So put in a really nice candle today. I think I bought a little bit, just like a small amount off the, all right, got all my drawings back. Bought a small amount off the 50 today, just a little bit. And I bought a little bit of the gap fill. Oh, boy. The gap fill right here at 1085. And I have more orders down at 964. I have some more at 924 and 879. So that's kind of where I'm buying. It's kind of all the way down there. And do I don't have my channel on here. This was kind of similar to apps, just in the downward channel. We got possibly starting up here. So we could get a little bit something like this working out on here. So if we did come down, possibly bounce off this 100, move up, and something like this, and then finally break out and moon time. So yeah, I'm just going to be slowly accumulating until this shows me that like this, something like this, that was a really strong gap, shouldn't have failed that quickly. And I think it's going to be a good accumulation time in Tesla. And if we can come back down into the 100, great. And this pink line, it has, let's look at it on the weekly. It has been holding up forever. Let's see, where is this? Hey you. All right. So yeah, we did break below. Here's kind of the mean back over here. But since whenever this is, July of 2020, this line has been a very, very solid line that we do return to, kind of return to the mean. And it's a very, very nice upward trending mean. But so that possibly if we can get back over to like 880 sometime in February or something, kind of bounce off this area, bounce up, that would be nice. So on the weekly, not the best candle I've ever seen, not the worst. We did poke above, man, I got a lot of day trades on this. We did poke above 1200 and just trap everybody up there. So that's kind of rough on the bulls. So I think this could come a little bit lower because of that. So that's all I'll be watching, just to buy it. I'm not going to short it at this point. Although if you wanted to play the break bull here as a short, certainly viable down into this gap fill. So that one could certainly work if you wanted to play that one as well. So looks good on Tesla. Cleveland Cliffs. They got the best cliffs in Cleveland. Cleveland Cliffs. Non-energy minerals. Yeah, okay. Selling Cliffs. Not much to see on this one right now, but man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Look at this hammer back here, back in the day, only December 15th, less than a month ago. This was the candle you should be playing on Cleveland Cliffs, CLF, because a couple things I noticed just right off the bat with this hammer. One, it broke the low of this hammer by like pennies, so that's cool. Trapped everybody and their brother thought this was going to go to zero that day, and then it closed nicely back above here. This hammer worked out super well, so that's a bonus. Big huge giant, oh, there's not my drawing up, big huge giant volume down here. So this hammer looking sweet. Yes, we do have the 200 or below moving averages on this one for sure. But just says it's such a nicely placed, pretty much with all of this support that is bouncing off of. Really nice support, really nice wick, trapping wick, everybody trapped on this thing. And got this candle next, beautiful Morningstar reversal, set up at that point with a hammer in the middle, 2 upper wicks right here. Generally you play Morningstar reversal like, I don't know my drawing on. Boy, what is this, amateur hour? Like this and this. But on this one, I'd probably look for some kind of retest like that, just to try to buy like the top of the hammer or somewhere in there. Yeah, no one played out super, super well. Looks really good. Almost stopped you out, scared you a little bit, but yeah, that's where you wanted to buy this one. At this point, this is a profit zone. You're locking in all your profits up here. What a drawing. Locking in everything up there and just waiting. So I would wait for this one to pull back probably to 21 or so, somewhere around these averages, and buy it there. So otherwise, yeah, not too much going on. NMG. Nuevo Monde Granite Inc. In my mind, I read this as not going to make it from this Twitter sphere, but I guess that's just my dyslexia reading that. So there's not even an I, but there's an I over here in ink. So, you know, all right, one of you gets it, but maybe it's just me. It's probably just me. Anyway, NMG, nice cute little hammer here off of the 110, and I deleted a 50 somewhere. And it's back. So could play this one for a quick little play up into here. Personally, it's in kind of a mega downtrend, so I wouldn't play this one opposite trend with a 10 EMA strategy. So I would not take that trade, but it does have a lot of compression, which looks really good. And so certainly could work out nicely. Nice bounce. A little bit of bullish volume increases recently, so that's good. Just kind of hanging out in the middle of RSI. So yeah, a lot of okay things going for this one. So it doesn't look too bad. That's how I play it if I wanted to get into NMG. Not gonna make it. So DWAC had a huge pop today. It was requested late in the day because I think it didn't pop until yeah, okay, 13:20 o'clock. So yeah, pretty much like the last hour of the day, we had a big run up, and we're just moving straight sideways. Nice false little like breakdown here, and then just ripped higher. So we went pretty high in the pre-market up to 64. So let's see. I would try to buy the dip on this one just because we're fading in that pre-market a little bit, or day trade it. So what am I trying to do? Day trade, so day trade this one. A few of you probably still have that bull call spread. I would set up something like that if I wanted to buy a retest. Best case scenario is we just get a little kind of, that's a candle, a little bearish candle right here. Is best case scenario, and then we can take the breakout above that, stop below that, try to get up into the 80s. So the reason this popped is because the app is rumored to be launching on February 20 something. So I wrote that on my chart, and I think this is definitely going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So today was part of the rumor. If we can get it some more follow through the next few days, that'd be nice. Otherwise, I look for a nice kind of retest into here, possibly something like that. Targets up in the $70 region, I mean $80 region, $79, $80 regions where I'd like to play it. But if you can't get a retest, look for us to possibly set up a bearish candle and then play above that. General Motors looking nice. Not as good as Ford. Ford is looking much better. General Motors had this kind of wild wick that trapped everybody. let's see. Yeah, so I just want to buy it down at this gap fill at 58 if I was going long General Motors. So that's where I'd look to buy. And I would look to yeah, just I would either do that or technically, yeah, there's no 10 EMA play happening on this, but decent play. Earnings are coming up pretty soon too, so watch out for that. You won't have a ton of time to get into a decently big swing trade. So you're going to have to be a little bit aggressive. But even a stop below the 100 and 200 on this one could get you some nice risk reward up to this $65 region. So that looks decent. TYL Tyler Technology. What's up, Tyler? Tyler Technologies probably going to pull into the 200 if we break this candle, which is also the 50, which is also really good support over here. Yeah, just lots of support in that region. That's where I would want to buy it. That's where I'd want to short it too if I was day trading it. Not a lot of good risk reward on this one though. If you're playing it like this, if you're bracket trading it, we've seen a lot of better risk rewards. We just have the 200 right in our face on this one, which is also the 50. Which is also this rock solid support. So yeah, I would not play that one. Microsoft actually looks pretty interesting. If we break down on Microsoft, going to be similar. I mean, the Qs are going to play like that. So if we break down on Microsoft, we're going to probably break down on the Qs. So that's why I'm choosing to play the Qs. But yeah, Microsoft looks good for a breakdown play. If it does just kind of regain this 100 and chop around here, great. We did pretty much, we exactly filled this gap, so that's good. We filled the gap on Microsoft, which is nice, and earnings are coming up in a little while, the end of the month, so we might just kind of chop around until earnings, see what happens with that. On Microsoft, it's been so strong. I'm not sure we'll sell all the way down to the 200 or the 50 on the weekly. We'll see. We certainly could. That's barely a pullback, realistically. So even if we go to the all-time high, it's 70%. If we go to where we were before, 15%. So decent. Pretty much all you get on Microsoft, honestly. Like 15% is large. Oh man, there's a large helicopter flying over my house right now. Not sure if you guys can hear it or not. So yeah, 8% right there. Whole house is shaking. Oh no, I need Jeremy's tactical gear from yesterday. It's tack time. I didn't even get Robert Falco's night vision goggles. Ooh, it's one of those like double, they're not propellers, boy, I don't know my helicopters. What are helicopter thingies called? It's a Chinook rotors. There you go. Sure, rotors. Huey rotors. Yeah, I got lots of answers to that one. But yeah, it was one of those doubles. Pretty cool. Probably carrying a lot of cool stuff. Chinook is the twin motor. Yeah, I don't know anything about any of this stuff. So, looked cool. It was loud and it shook my house. And there you go. Anyway, so yeah, 20. I mean, honestly, it's a chupacabra, says Mike. A chopa. All right, so 11%. If we really did sell all the way down to 289, that'd be a pretty big pullback for Microsoft. I think it'd be very viable. So we'll see what we get. COVID was a 30%. So yeah, I mean, geez, Microsoft, sell sometimes. My shift isn't working that well. Yeah, 14%. That'll be the biggest since COVID that we ever saw if we do that. Right now, we are not doing that. Right now, we are still at a 10% pullback, which is one of the biggest since COVID. So there you go. Hit the 100, which we haven't done in a minute or two. So someone asked me to look at UVXY. I think was it who was that? Was it Jack? Was it Jack Whalen? Yeah. All right, sweet. So UVXY, yeah, I think, did Jeremy talk about this one recently? I think he did. This is our pro short ultra against the SPY. So if you're going to play it, I mean, so basically you just want to play it the exact opposite way that we were looking to play the SPY. So you would basically play something like this. One thing is you got to get in super quick, and we get in and out super quick on this, because as you can see, it always goes down. They just re something it. I forget what it's called. Yeah, it's designed to go straight down, so it does. But as you can see, I mean, sometimes it goes up like a lot. Look at this thing during COVID from 100 to 1300. Oh, is this? Yeah, you're right. This is the VIX. My bad. I was thinking of yeah, I misspoke. My bad. Yes, this is the VIX. You would still play it the same way. But yeah, this is the volatility index. You are correct. Same situation though, because this is the pro shares, and you're gonna have to be quick in and out on this thing. So yeah, thanks for catching that on it. I was not paying any attention. Yeah, so similar. I don't know the VIX. Let's actually look at the VIX real quick, because the VIX is not that high right now. So my volume disappeared right when you said that, Jack. Where'd my volume go? Hey, what? All right, well, this is annoying. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure how I disappeared my volume. Didn't Jeremy do something really weird? Or someone on the mic like moved their stuff into here? What is going on, TradingView? Where's my volume? Oh, it's giving me like a red thingy up here. All right, well, all right, there you go. ETF has volume. All right. Geez. Sometimes it doesn't show volume on VIX. UVXY. Okay. Clearly, I've never looked at the volume on VIX then before, but that makes actually sense because there wouldn't be volume on VIX. So whatever. Just we'll cut the last like 5 minutes of post. So don't worry. It's gone. It's edited off. No one will know what happened. We're good. Edit that in post, everybody. Either way, I blame it all on you, Jack. So anyway, UVXY. So what I do with this one, I would still play it exactly like this. I might play, since this is the VIX, I might actually put this stop down here. And I would try to get in real quick, get in, get out on this thing. This would be a stop limit buy. And this thing is cheap. Let's see. So you could buy a bunch of them. Where's my stop limit buy? Your stops are down here, depending on how aggressive you want to be. Definitely going to be a volatility play. If we do really get some selling, VIX obviously going to be up. So yeah, huge volume increases on it. I didn't actually look at the VIX ever really enough, because I got hung up on my volume probs and just didn't look at it all. So yeah, be careful. If we do get a spike, be careful when you're buying any options. Obviously, nice time to sell options if we get up into the 25s and 30s. But this is kind of if we break above today's candle, which if we break down on the SPY, that's what we'd be doing, is we'd probably be having increased volatility. We'd be breaking out on the VIX. We'd see the VIX run up a little bit. Options get more expensive, so just be careful buying calls, or puts will get a lot more expensive as well. So if you buy calls trying to call the bottom and the VIX is really high, you'll probably get wrecked on those. So just be careful. But yeah, UVXY, that's how I play it, exactly like that, and it looks all right. Nice little play, volatility play on that, and I think it could be pretty good. Two more on the day. That I think actually pretty good as far as risk reward to play the 10 EMA breakdown play are CHWY and Workday. So here's CHWY. We have put in this candle. Here's a couple reasons why I like CHWY. I got 2 minutes. All right, perfect. So CHWY, couple reasons I like CHWY. We have this candle right here. Huge volume. This is our earnings candle. We gapped down and they went, no way, you're not gapping down. We're going to buy this. This is a buying opportunity on CHWY. It's been in a monster downtrend ever since the all-time highs of 118. So just gone down ever since. We broke down. We retested the 100 up here, and we sold off super hard during that time. So we got a nice little pop, nice little retest after retesting the 100 from the downside. We just waterfalled. So we wouldn't want to short there. But since we got this nice push up into the 20, and now we're breaking down again, and we put in a bullish candle at the exact same low almost as what is this day? December 10th candle. I really like this play for a breakdown just into probably an R, 1.2 R or so, kind of into this region, maybe into 41.07, kind of right there. So I think CHWY looks really good as a setup. I'm not sure if I'll post whichever ones I go on for personal trades, but I'm definitely taking the Qs. We'll see if I take CHWY and Workday as well, but those will be the 3 that I'm thinking about. This one looks really good just because we're all that volume from all these people trying to hold this thing up are going to be trapped, as well as all the people trying to hold it up today. Everybody getting trapped on this if we break down below that. So watch CHWY, going to be interesting. Workday. So here's Workday. Again, pretty waterfall-y. We had this gap up and we pretty much failed it almost immediately. Well, it took like a couple weeks, but nice gap down, filled the gap, and then we just rampaged. So that was really nice. On earnings though, we gapped down. And so once we broke below this hammer over here, that wasn't the most ideal situation. And now we broke below the 200 and we retested it twice with nice upper wicks right here on the on Workday on the 200. Also, we have some room into but CHWY has no moving averages under it, so like at all, there's nothing. We're below everything. So another reason I like it, nothing really holding it up. Just to show you it on the weekly as well. Workday, it would be target would be kind of down at the 100, which is a pretty nice support over here, pretty nice support with some of this area right in here. So nice area, nice targets, decent risk reward. Again, none of these have like great risk reward, but you can get 1R, 1.5R or so, which this trade would get. If it came out down there, that would look pretty nice. So that's what I'd be looking at for Workday, CHWY, and QQQs. And if you want to play volatility play, UVXY doesn't look bad either. From our man Jack Whalen. So that's all I got for you today. That is the charts. I'll throw the personal trades in the journal in a little while, and we'll go from there. So I guess I need a list for Matt for tomorrow, Friday. What do we got? All right, let me delete these. What do you guys want to see tomorrow? Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. AFRM. Amazon, Upwork looking a little rough. XLU, Pins, Disney, Netflix, big gap down on Netflix today. Thanks, George. Thanks, Jack. WBA, Apple, Kroger. I don't think Kroger triggered the room in today. Yeah, it looks like it was an update, so probably not. Thanks, Matt. Good to see you. So yeah, there we go. If you have any other stuff for Matt to look at, stocks in particular, shoot him a message. Roku F. Matt loves looking at Roku. So thanks, D, for giving him that one. Lucid, perfect. Yeah, everyone have a great night, and we will see what happens in the market tomorrow on Friday. And Jeremy already, he's internationally traveled. He was gone today, and we got a bullish day. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Will we get the sell-off and trigger all of these 10 EMA plays or not? All right. Well, and trade it.